I just love that we're doing this.
I know, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, for people just tuning in, beginning, you and I are not about to. We've started working together on a new show for Apple.
Yes.
The Elizabeth Banks Project.
Right.
A rowdy...
I thought it was the Ted Danson.
No. I told you that. I know. I'm sorry. But that was just to try to, impress you. I called Liz, our, leader, writer, creator, said, well, I've been saying it's like Modern Family on acid, which is not a great way to describe it, but it is a rowdy family comedy. Rowdy underlined 2 or 3 times.
I can't wait to get way in because we've just started. So
yeah. You and I did it was a lot of group acting the first week.
A lot of face acting.
Yes.
Reacting in a crowd.
I don't know. I don't think you did it as much as I do, but when I'm in the background with no words, but supposed to be alive and present in the moment, I am become the world's worst mime, where everything is way too large and,
I thought you were very funny. I thought you were, and definitely present.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm going to take a few lessons from Ted over here.
Oh, boy.
On crowd acting.
You and I probably would never really have gotten together in life because I think we're similar in many ways. But you're magnificent. I'm so excited to get to know you in this way. I would never go out and have a beer for sure with you, a beer with you, but even have a sandwich because I'm shy and I go home to Mary because that's where my goodies are.
Oh, that's so
true.
Sweet.
But now I get to hang with you today and I get to really hang with you and work together.
Yes.
Hopefully for a long time.
So are you kind of reclusive? Is that what you're saying a little bit? Just like my husband is that way as well.
I listened to your husband a little bit. I like him. He's a manly cream puff.
100%.
Yeah.
He was going to come today just to meet you and say hello. And then he literally called me 15 minutes ago and said, I really don't feel well. I just can't. It's just like the cream puff side. He's fine. He just he doesn't love leaving the house.
Yeah. I'm not quite recluse. I've said this before on this show, but it's like, if it's not with Mary, it's slightly, and this sounds like I'm trying to, get an all, but it's beside the point. Life's a little, see, I got one. Mm-hmm. Women love it when I talk like this. Mary accuses me of talking like this purposefully,
just
knowing
to get the
that it's good, it's good for me. But it's kind of true. When she leaves, my endorphins crash and so do our dogs. We both sit around moping when she's gone. But it's just because we have so much fun together. It's not like I'm depressed, but it's just different. It's a little grayer. She's coming home tonight, so I'm very excited.
Or she was gone.
Yeah.
How did her thing, wait a minute. I know I'm jumping ahead. Nobody knows this. But how did her singing situation go the other night? You were on your way to a thing.
Yeah, it was, as she calls it, the Please Vote For Me tour. The beginning of, you getting out in the world when it's award season.
Right.
And she and her co-writers from Nashville, and several people here in LA wrote a song that she sang as a character in A Man on the Inside.
Oh, all right.
So it was lovely. And she co-wrote it and sang it. And so this was a group, this event she went to, of composers who were getting their music out in the world. But it was held in an, I wish I could remember the name of this, but it's now in a big building and they have different rooms doing all sorts of symposiums and things like that. But it was started in somebody's living room of composers and song and music people to support each other. It was like a support group that expanded. So here were all these people who probably will compete in some way for awards from their music. So supportive.
Oh, that's musicians.
Yeah.
Musicians are very supportive.
I mean, there was 16, maybe larger, orchestra.
Wow.
Horns, violins,
Love.
cellos, everything. E. Pluribus, that guy who wrote the music for that.
Oh, okay.
And there's a choral group there as well. So it was such a musical evening. And at the end, she got up. She was the only singer, got up and sang the song. And people were so supportive. It was a lovely evening.
I'm telling you, the music community, which I started that's where I come from, is that way.
Yep.
Is that way. And I don't know that, I'm sure, I find the acting community a little dog-eat-dog compared to that. It's sort of, that's just my experience, but I love to hear that that's what's going on.
I'll have to admit that a lot of our friends, we have great friends here in this community, but we made so many great friends from her music in Nashville. Just, who know our dogs and kids' names, which is.
And don't forget them.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love our community here. So, but it is different.
Yes.
Because music's different.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I've been listening to you sing a lot.
Oh, okay,
I've been
good.
Googling and, YouTubing you like crazy. I started just when I found out we were going to work together. But wow, what a wonderful voice you have. And you are a professional, real deal singer. And that's how you started,
That's
right?
how I started. And that was the goal. And since I was a kid, that was my first entree into any kind of social life. I was completely terrified of people. But I remember learning how to play the guitar when I was 10. My mother taught me how to play
because
the folk guitar.
Was also a singer.
She was a singer. And I remember all through school, I would just bring my guitar where I remember going to a Girl Scout meeting and them making me leave the room because I had to have my guitar with. It was kind of like this sad, but it was my entree. It was my safe place. So yes, music is what I've known the best for most of my life.
When did you first sing professionally?
I got into a band when I went on the road when I was 18 in a rock musical. I was a chorus girl in the rock and roll version of Two Gentlemen of Verona. That was my first pro singing job. And then from there, I was a singing waitress. They paid me to sing.
Where was this?
There was a restaurant in Santa Monica called the Great American Food and Beverage Company.
Right.
And you had to audition to get a job there. Like Danny Elfman started there, Ricky Lee Jones started there, a bunch of people that were around. We were all coming up together and you'd go in. I was a horrible waitress, but I would play my guitar, play the piano and sing and make really good tips. So that was the gimmick of the restaurant. There were jugglers and magicians and, all kinds of...
Who would take your order, go deliver it, pick up some balls and juggle or sing a song.
Yes. That was the whole... And it was around for about 10, 15 years. Like people would come and go and, so I had sort of a solid gig there. And then from there, I got into a band. I got a record deal Casablanca Records and then Elektra Records. Things were happening. And then, but I'd always come back to the restaurant because I couldn't make a living until I started working as a background singer. And then that is when so the answer to the question is I started professionally, I guess, when I was about 18, 19, when they actually would pay me to sing. So, and then, from there, I kept making records. I never wanted to be in the background, but it really paid my bills. So I'd go on and off the road with various people and I'd do session work in town, but I'm a terrible reader. I don't read music. I just have a really good ear. So as long as they would put me in the middle section, I could hear my part. So I bluffed my way through all of that. And this was also in the days when there were publishing deals where songwriters would write songs and then they'd need somebody to demo the song so they could sell it. So I did a lot of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Boy, it changed a lot, hasn't it?
Oh my God.
It got demonetized by, what was the invention that came out and all of a sudden everyone could download whatever they wanted?
Napster.
Napster,
Yeah. I mean, I watch now, my older kids are both musicians and actors. And my oldest daughter just has made the most beautiful record that she wrote and produced. And she's amazing. And just to see the process of how you have to be able to market yourself now.
Yeah.
Like where labels used to, you'd have to pay them back, but they'd give you money so that you could, just be an artist and just sell.
Right.
And they do all the selling. And now it's just a very different world for young artists. It's hard. I mean, on the acting side too.
This is a parenthesis, but I wanted to share this with you because I think you'd be interested that there's a group of ladies, artists out of Nashville put together something called Mother. And they go around singing and performing. But the idea is to raise money, consciousness on how hard it is when you're an artist and then you have a child.
Oh.
Yep. And do you tour anymore? What do you have babysitters who allow, some support system? Because it's very hard to be a mother and an artist.
It absolutely is.
So anyway, keep your eye out for it.
All right.
It's a fledgling group that's pretty cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a really
Mother.
good support to have.
Yeah.
Do they watch each other's kids? No.
I don't know yet enough about it. Mary was friends with several of them, but yeah.
I spent some time in Nashville. I had a house in Leaper's Fork when it was.
What
It was great. But when I bought there, it was like 25 years ago. It was cheap. Nobody was there.
Yeah.
And I've watched the community kind of, and I tried to sort of plug myself in down there musically, but it was a very different approach than I was used to in terms of songwriting. And it was kind of like you'd go in and by the end of the day you had a song written.
A factory.
And it was like a factory.
But not a bad factory.
No.
Definitely.
But it was weird for me a little bit just because I was not used to that process. And plus I'm not really a country singer. And this is before everything expanded to where now you don't have to be a country singer.
Yeah, it's everybody great musician in the world is now there.
Yeah. No, I was down there when Waylon Jennings was down there, and they were telling him he was an outlaw. They were like, that community was so tight. They were, they barely let Waylon in because he was from Texas. So, but yeah.
Waylon's not country enough.
That wasn't country enough, apparently.
Yeah.
So it's a great community.
So you're surrounded like you were by creativity. Are your kids around you or are they off?
Oh no, they're all here. Well, my son is now, he's doing quite well as an actor. He's in Australia right now making a movie, but he's on a television show called Tell Me Lies on Hulu. And they just finished their 3rd season.
Oh, wow.
he just kind of blew up, my sweet son. And but they all live in LA. My daughter lives, 10 minutes from me, and my youngest one is 19, and she's home from college. So they're all.
Do they share
close.
Do you get to be around their creative process, or is it kind of?
I get to nose my way in.
Yeah.
No, yes, I do. And what I've really learned lately is to say things like, "I have some thoughts about that. Would you like to hear it?"
Yeah.
And then if they say, "No, Mom, I don't want to hear it," then I have to follow suit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not like a pushy, stagey mom, but I relate to their art. Like when my daughter was making her record and she would send me mixes, rough mixes, I had a bunch of notes, know, and I would really have to pick and choose because I just felt like I just know that world.
Yeah.
In terms of my son's acting, not so much. We got to do a little together. I was on his show. I played his mom in one episode on his show. So that was really fun. And
are they proud of you? Did they?
I think they are. No, I know they are.
You know they are. Are they demonstratively proud of you?
I would say yes.
Oh, that's great.
I would say yes. They're very like, their only thing to me is, Mom, you've been working for so many years. Why don't you just chill for a while? And I'm like, you guys, I like to work.
Yeah.
That is chill for me. I don't like all the downtime.
Yeah.
And I don't really know. what else I would do, so, but they're really proud, like they're the first ones I call when I get a good job.
That's great.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Did you call them about our job
100%.
together?
Are you kidding? Oh, 100%. They're so thrilled. They're just, they love you. They love Elizabeth. They love Rob Delaney from Catastrophe. Did you?
Wow. Yeah, Rob.
Isn't he something?
Yeah, he is something. I'm trying to pull back because I don't know. I'm just overly effusive the first week or two to make me feel comfortable. But everybody,
I know it's a good bunch.
Yeah, it's
so
a great
far.
bunch. Yeah.
I can't wait to get, I think next week we do some more sort of like
we
two
get
people scenes
yes.
rather than group scenes. So
yes, which is nice.
That'll be fun.
No more mugging.
No more mugging.
Well, maybe.
You never know. When I worked with John Ritter, he would make such big jokes about face acting. He was like, well, okay, now we're, because he had that rubbery face.
Yeah.
So he,
What a sweet soul. Was
the
that?
Best.
We know his son, Jason, really well, and he's been on this. But was that what he was working on when he died?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were doing press pretty much at 4 p.m. on that day. And then by 10 o'clock that night, he left us. It was mind-blowing. It was just really mind-blowing. And, but it's interesting. I don't know what your belief system is, but I feel him around a lot. I just feel him around. I can just, his energy and his love of laughter and life. And even though I think he had his darker side too, but he just brought so much light that I just feel him around.
Yeah, definitely. That belief system, yes, is shared in this room.
Great.
We've had people that were very specific about that belief system here, talking to them. But let's talk about me first a little bit more.
I would like to.
It'll put me at ease.
Okay. I love this about you, Ted, because you are so self-aware of that. That's just so cool. I've worked with so many male actors that they don't have that self-awareness. So I love that.
Yeah, I can make people work a little hard to make me feel better. Self-effacing is kind of bullshit because I'm magnificent. I love being Ted. All of those things are also true. To be self-deprecating, you have to have a pretty huge ego to begin with, I think. Support for Where Everybody Knows Your Name comes from The Gray Take, presented by Brookdale Senior Living. Whether at the bar or a senior living community, people tend to look for the same things: connection, support, and maybe a little laughter along the way. The Gray Take brings these elements into conversations about aging, caregiving, and the moments families don't always see coming. Hear from those who have lived it on The Gray Take, wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, so actors, when they work together, they avail themselves to each other in a controlled way of, this is who I am. Let's get intimate, not physically, but let's be intimate and personal so that I can share with you parts of me that maybe will be good for us in our working together as actors and for the characters, right?
Right. I agree.
Okay, you start.
Okay. So
what is it about you I should know to help me play, and vice versa? What do you want to know about me? Because for the audience out there, and for these guys who don't really know, you meet us.
Yes.
Will that spoil it? No. You meet us, not visually, so everyone can relax, in a steam room having sex.
Yes.
In a retirement village when our families have gotten together haphazardly to go visit us.
Yes.
And can't find us. And we enjoy each other's physical company. Here's a question I never got.
Okay.
Is this our first time having sex?
Oh, no.
The steam room? You think we've been doing this for a while?
I think it's been going on a minute.
Okay. Yeah. I like that, because otherwise...
That would be my choice.
Yes.
Yeah, because I feel like the dialogue after where we go
would be
no
too,
spoiler. Like, yeah.
It's too, offhand to be a first timer.
Right. That would be my.
Great. So this is why my description of our relationship is why I'm really curious about all of this. What should I know about you tell me who.
I'm very sexual, Ted.
Okay.
I'm at this age of my life and still into it. So
I'm fucked. Okay. I'm the exact opposite. But I growing up, and it's still not that. Well, I'm madly in love with my wife, Mary. We've been together for 32 years. So me talking about how I would be out in the world is like a distant, bad memory kind of thing.
Right.
But growing up, the girl would have to be naked standing in front of me, and I would still be going, "Who, me?
Oh, you're so sweet."
No, it's not sweet. It sucks. It was so.
No
and
game.
Sam Malone, I would break into a sweat in the early days when I had to come on to a woman in the bar. It was just not me. I've learned how to do it. But so when you say I'm very sexual, I'm starting to sweat. And,
don't sweat.
Yeah, okay.
No, I think what's important about saying that, and I say that somewhat facetiously, but it is true, is I think that when I was growing up, I thought that by the time I'd get to this age of my life,
which is
72,
right,
that would be a distant memory.
Yeah,
and
you'd have tight curled gray hair,
something.
Yes.
Yeah, and
right.
it's not that. And so I think that the more that's sort of spoken about, I think that's a good thing. I mean, I think the fact that we're doing a show where you're going to see people in their 70s having sex is...
Not literally, folks.
Not
so
literally,
relax.
but not far from the truth. And I think
Yes.
it's very affirming. I think that,
100%.
It's a good thing.
And we're not making this up. This is rampant.
Oh, rampant.
Rampant in retirement homes.
Absolutely. Yeah. They have the highest rate of STDs.
Yeah. Okay, but you're all right?
But you're
I'm all right.
Yes.
Okay.
You're so sweet. You said that. My husband is very similar. I think my husband is super hot, but I think he would never think that. He would just, and that's what makes him so great, I think. I don't like dudes
actually,
that think
it was
they're
also
so hot.
part of my seduction.
Right.
Which was, hey, it's me, Ted, one of the girls. Let's take our clothes off.
Oh my God, you're so funny. My husband said that to me when we were first dating. He said, I'm half a girl. I was like, oh, okay. in the greatest way, in the greatest, in tune with his feminine which I feel like, so to be an actor, to be an artist, to be anything, you have to have a good connection to your female self, because that is our emotional life.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
So that's what I think.
And once you ladies get past the, danger, I love a dangerous guy. Once you get past that, which I think most people don't get stuck there, then that's what you want.
Right.
You want kindness. You want to be seen. You want to be...
I got stuck there many times.
That was the other thing that I got stuck in, by the way, which I think is great about, because you both, I think, in our characters, neither one needs fixing.
I would say so. Yes, I would
it's
agree.
like you're not, my character would not look at you and go, oh, because here's what I used to do. Sorry. I would find the woman who had the wound, and I would become indispensable to making that wound go away and feel better. That was it's a horrible way, because then you're, whatever. It's.
Is that how you grew up?
Yeah.
Taking care of somebody's wound?
Yeah. Yeah. I was making up for.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not a great way to go. When I met Mary, I started doing one of those bits, and I could see her, not literally, because she didn't know what I was doing, look at me with this kind of confused look, and it was like, oh, I don't have to do that anymore.
Wow, that's great.
I don't have to do push-pull anymore. This person is totally okay with, within herself. She does not need me. It's a magnificent gift to give to the other person.
Scary, though. If you're a person that always has chosen people that need you.
Yeah.
That first leap into the person that doesn't actually need you. I mean, to me, I learned enormous lessons about myself that way because I watched myself get afraid of abandonment and this and that. Like, if you don't need me, am I enough? All that stuff came up.
Yeah.
But
and it still comes up. It does. You know,
I know.
I don't think those patterns go away. You can go, oh, here comes that pattern. I don't have to react that way.
Right.
But that pattern will poke its head up, I think.
100%.
Always.
Yeah. Yes. I come.
Okay, so we don't need each other.
All right.
And I admire that. And you are, I don't think I'm ruining anything, but you were a reporter. You were on 60 Minutes.
Right.
I was a very successful plumber.
Love that.
And proud of it.
Right.
And I'm very self-assured.
And isn't that great that two people that come from those, I mean, like as younger people, I don't know that a 60 Minutes journalist would be attracted to the plumber. And I don't know that the plumber would feel like, oh, I can go. You know, it's kind of different, I think, as you get older. It's not so much about what you do. You know, it's about who you are. So.
And how does this feel in the moment?
Yeah. So I think that's.
Here's something I need to work on for myself.
Yeah.
For Fred the plumber, is I do tend to, even though I've confessed I'm very chuffed to be myself. I love Ted. I do. But I walk in a knee-jerk kind of way, apologizing.
Really?
Sorry is yes. Sorry is like, a comma in my, I say it way too much. That's not Fred the plumber.
Mm-mm.
I need to be able to walk in, put aside my fears about am I a good actor, put aside my fear of I have to be a little bit different to be like, whatever. Put aside all my fears and walk into the room as an actor, totally confident, pleased with myself.
This is so interesting to hear because since I've just met you, my lore in my brain about you is that confident, very it is exactly what you're saying Fred should be. I would not, so it's so interesting what you make up about people before you actually meet the people.
Yeah.
And I would, to me, you're legendary Ted Danson. I mean, I would not think that given all that you've done, I would not think that those things would still pop up. But, as I say it, I think that quality of not quite feeling good enough, I think that's what makes for interesting actors. Curious people.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I sometimes think if Sam Malone had been played by somebody who was just a pure, for real womanizer and arrogant and cocky and everything, I think that person would have missed the joke.
Absolutely.
And I think you have to get the joke to play.
That.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
I love that character.
What about you?
What about me?
I don't know. Anything more?
Let's see.
About the parts we're about to play. The truth is this is just silly talk. We'll find out as we go and it'll be fun.
Right.
But
what about the parts we play? Well, it's interesting for me because I'm sort of grappling with, even though as I talk about being older and being sexual and having all those things, there is part of me that's still kind of grappling with this whole like when they first said to me, okay, you're going to live in a retirement village, I was like, huh? Yeah. What are you talking about? Yeah. It's me. I'm not there.
I'm riding my motorcycle to this interview.
What are you talking about? And then I've sort of like once I, spoiler, but they put a beautiful gray wig on my head. And then I kind of, I think it's helping, just the thought of that I got that role is making me be more in acceptance of maybe that I can do that I am that this is, because I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm 45. I don't feel like I'm the number.
Yeah.
And, so at first I was almost not like offended, but it was almost like, really? Me?
This won't be believable.
Me. This won't be you. How are you going to do that? But then I saw how we all both got put together and you have a youthful vibe. So it was like, oh, okay. These are two people that are at this place in their life. I don't know what you've decided about why you're there. I know why I've decided why I'm there because they didn't really tell us why we're there.
Yeah.
So I made up a thing about why I'm there.
Yeah.
And which doesn't necessarily have to do with not being able to take care of myself.
Right.
It just has to do with a few things that would be much nicer if somebody else would do them. Do you know what I mean?
Not quite, but I don't want you to have to tell me what it is. Maybe it's just wonderful to keep
it's like
yourself.
Driving and, all the things.
Yeah,
my imagination is that I come from New York. I'm not a person who drives. I'm not this. And somehow I ran out of money, all my money. So my son had to support me. And so he said, yeah, but you can't live with me, but you can live here. That's my sort of
I love it.
made up thing. And I'm sure you must have something you've kind of...
Close. I don't know. Am I a bad actor? Am I just surfacey? But there's some spoiler alerts that I don't want to talk about.
I know. I remember talking too much.
There's some physical stuff and all of that. But it's like my backstory or will come out and be thus a part of the story is... gives me an attitude that I like, which is, well, what the fuck? I'm going to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck? Okay. You know?
Acceptance of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's maybe working. I don't know. I have no idea. When you do a job like this and the writers they're writing, I live with a writer.
Yeah.
So I know that I'm just there to service whatever he's going to give me.
Right.
So I'm not sure where we're going. I'm not sure how much we're going to know about anything, really. Yeah. So, but I know for me, I have to know sort of that backstory a little bit, even if I've just made it up, just so I know where, the relationships. I just, because sometimes
No, I think it's incredibly valuable. I mean...
And not to be too deep about it. It's not some methody thing.
But you need to walk in the door feeling like this is not bullshit. This makes sense to me because of yada, yada, yada.
Especially in funny stuff, don't you find? I mean, I really think that, Yeah,
because funny stuff only, to me, is worth watching is if it's grounded in some sort of sadness, primarily.
And reality. And,
yeah.
We're
lucky about that. We're not doing three. For me, I'm not good at doing 3 jokes to a page anymore, or interested.
Interested. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is good. You know what else is cool about our parts?
Huh?
We're not. We may be a pain in the ass to our children, but we don't fucking need them.
No.
And we're not stupid.
Right.
And we're not, so it's like, actually, kids, you would do us all a favor if you would clear the way and let us do our life, whatever it is. And that's nice, not to play old people who are the joke old people.
Oh, and the trope old people.
Yeah.
That's what I
say
think
that. I kind of know what trope means, but
trope is really the stereotypical, what you'd think of people in their 70s, which... has changed so much over the years. So it's, we are not the trope.
Yeah, and nor the kids.
And nor are the kids.
We have, 2, 8, 9, 10-year-old boys, somewhere in that range.
There are the grandchildren.
The grandchildren and a 16-year-old grandchild. And they're just really great. But they're not written in a trope-like fashion.
No. That's what I liked the script a lot because nobody really is. It sort of goes against, I'm sure it's intentional. It's really, it's good.
For me, and I don't know you well enough to really say this, but one of my favorite things is sadness.
Yeah.
Because sadness, someone once told me this years ago, kind of guru-ish kind of person, but nevertheless, I thought it was very wise. Sadness is a function of winning. Mm-hmm. And I really like that. Anger, no. Sadness. Fear, no. But sadness is a good thing to have. And I see in you, and this is just me, I see sadness.
Yeah.
Not unexamined sadness, not anything that's running. It doesn't feel to me that I don't feel smeared by your sadness. I just feel like there's a hint of sadness, which to me I find real and
well, it's examined.
It's examined. Wow, that's great. So can we talk about where that sadness came from? And I don't mean, I know
No,
you
I
talk
know.
about being sober and all of that. I'm not talking about that part. Can we talk about family and losing parents at a
young age?
Young age. I mean, you were not a teenager, but it doesn't matter. You were very young.
I think I was born sad. Honestly, I do.
Yeah.
I look at like serious and sad.
Yeah.
Like I look, I've raised 3 kids, and when they were 10 years old, they didn't look like my pictures of me at 10 years old. So I think that, I'm the oldest of 5, and my father was a director, one of the early television directors, Boris. So he was gone a lot. And my mother, who should have been born now, my mother was a very creative person, an artist person, and had been singing and had her own radio show when she was 11. And she kind of did that.
Wait, what? Had her own radio show?
My mother was called the Singing Sweetheart of Cherokee County.
That's fantastic.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
In South Carolina. And she'd have like a 15-minute, radio show where she'd yodel. I mean, it was like this wild thing. And then she ended up kind of supporting her family when they moved to New York, and my grandfather left. And anyway, so the truth is that but my mother was sad. My mother was one of those people that did the trope thing of getting married, quitting working, having kids. And I just don't think it was really following her authentic self. I think that was the trap that she fell into. And so I just remember, being the grown up, being, the little kid grown up, and my mother being, my dad being at work a lot, and mom being at home and telling me things that kids don't really need to know. So
as in a confidential,
like a friend.
Yes.
Like something you would tell your girlfriend.
You are my confidant.
There was a little bit too much sharing going on which I didn't realize till much later in my life. But so I think I kind of grew up in sort of a sad, fearful way. And I don't know, maybe it was just out of the chute that way, or maybe it was circumstance. I don't really know. But, and then I had a rough go in my 20s when both my parents, my mother died when I was 20, and my father died when I was 25, 26. And so I had a lot of early loss, which is an interesting way to process mortality. You kind of get a hit of it really early. You understand, like, oh, this is finite, this whole journey here, which if you're not processing that in the correct way, like a young person, that can be sort of scary and sad. Mm-hmm. So, and
you haven't had a chance yet to get your feet really underneath you.
No. Plus I was, drinking and drugging a lot at the time. So it was I was just all over the place. But it's like what you said. I look at it now, like all that sadness kind of growing up just kind of made me, like, I'm not sad now. I feel much more, and it's because I've learned how to sit with that and not run away from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
And it's been a great teacher. I mean, discomfort, as the Buddhists say, we need to be comfortable with our discomfort. And I find that the more I can practice that, not perfect at it at all, but the more I can practice that, the more I grow, right? The more and it's kind of what I try to pass on to my kids a little bit. I've always told them life's not fair. So don't start thinking you're going to, so, and I've tried to sort of push that on them that, discomfort is where you're learning, is where you're actually growing. So try to
do that again. Life is not fair. I mean, it's something we hear all the time, but there's sometimes when it's said by life is not fair, it's from a victim-y, angry.
Mm-mm. No.
And I know that's not what you're saying, but it's,
Right.
what
No.
does that mean? Life not fair.
Life is not fair means to me that, 1 and 1 doesn't always equate to 2. That, there's so many more circumstances around whatever it is life is presenting us. And we think we're on a certain trajectory and we should now get the prize. We should now get the pot of gold. And then sometimes we don't realize that the pot of gold is way down the line. And you're not going to get that until you've missed this thing. That's how I believe. What I believe is that everything is leading to this or something greater than. And so when I say life is not fair, that just sort of means like, what we think we have to have, we don't get. And that's okay because we're not supposed to get it. Something else is going to happen. I didn't always feel this way. I used to feel like, if I don't get what I want, I got to either push harder to get that thing, force that round thing into the square peg, or, just be resentful and regretful and, why didn't I, competitive, all those weird things. And so I guess that's what is that
I know, totally. I agree. It's not, I almost do lead my life but the law of attraction.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, right.
Yes, we all have desires. That's what it is to be human beings. So you have these little rockets of desire going off all the time. But the trick is, yes, desire this that's over there, then and imagine it, but then let it go and be grateful and in the moment now. Mm-hmm. And the rest will take care of it. And don't limit yourself by how you think you should get to that desired goal, because life will,
100%.
will take a left turn and you'll go, oh, well, no, this was not a left turn. I'm actually now feeling more fulfilled. I'm more of service to people. I have more love in my heart than, which is what you're really targeting in life, Yeah,
not to get super recovery.
Oh, let's do.
But, recovery is all about, don't leave before the miracle, and also about
don't leave before the miracle.
In other words, don't like what I was told when I got into recovery is that you're dreaming too small. Your life will be bigger and better than you can even imagine, which sounded like a sales pitch to me, which was like, what do you mean? Like, I don't drink anymore. And then I thought it was all bullshit. But when I look back now and I see how my life has the trajectory it's gone on, everything I thought was important, to be a rock star, to be like blah, blah, all the things. My life is so much better than I could have imagined in terms of raising a family and being, like you said, the mother group in Nashville. I was able to work and raise children and be married a couple of times. And, all the things that I was cutting myself short by thinking, no, it has to be this way, way. Which was a lot of what my drinking and using had been about, was about being so rigid in my desires. And every time one of them would not come to fruition, I would be like, fuck this. I'm not, I'm going to just blank this out, this part of my life was very, very small, is what I'll say.
Yeah.
And then with my recovery state, my life is pretty big in a great way.
Who do you look to nowadays is it that the 12 steps that kind of are your leading light, or do you have people or obviously your husband is that for you as well, and your children and all of that, but where do you get your kind of
my God hit?
Thanks. Your God hit.
Which I still have trouble with the word sometimes because of the dogma behind it.
Sure.
And I was not raised that way. I was raised pretty much as a socialist. It didn't
not a bad way to go.
Not a bad way to go, but no religious dogma at all. So I would just say the tenets of a spiritually based program is allows me to not live afraid. And the way that I do that are all the I learned in 12-step rooms. I learned about taking life in small pieces, because if I take them in too big a piece, I'll get scared. I'll project out and it won't be good. I'll go all the way there.
Yeah.
So I would say that I'm very much in that community. I stay in the middle of all that, and I work with other people, and I don't forget where I came from. And, it got pretty dark for me there for a minute. And so this is what I know about all addiction. It all is in my brain. It's not about any substance. All the substances are filling the same space. So, I guess that's sort of my, and I just have a faith that, faith is believing in things you cannot see. Faith is saying, I'm going to turn the light switch on and it's all going to work. And I don't see the wires. I don't know what's happening. Yeah. So I like to go there. That's where but I have to do it kind of daily. I'll forget.
I know. It's kind of like, this is what I love about acting, because really good acting, and especially on film, because you can see it, is the moment, your goal is to be in the moment, literally not really knowing, even though you have the technique to know you have more lines coming up or whatever, but to genuinely be in the moment, not do anything until you make me do it, so I'm not giving a demonstration of how it is to be in this moment, but I am literally in that moment. It's very rare. For me, it's 50-50 at best. And and when I'm in the moment, I'll go, wow, fucking me, look at this. I'm in the moment, and boom, you're not in the moment. Which is life.
That's total life.
It really is.
It absolutely is. And as an actor, you have to say sort of, it's like the first time you've said something and you've just really said it 25 times.
Yeah.
So it's a hard road to maintain.
Yeah.
Yeah, life is like that too. I find that in my, I think the main thing I probably worry about in my life these days is the future of my children. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
I do know what you mean.
Yeah, like wanting their lives to be, as much as I say that we learn so much from adversity, but you want their lives to be comfortable and not too bumpy and all the things. And so I have to really practice that concept of, one moment at a time with them as well, because I can project way into the, I can just tell myself scary stories.
Journey. Just
absolutely.
Like you got yours.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the parental guidance that they, my parents were gone by the time I was 25.
Yeah.
And I pretty much raised myself anyway, is what I would say.
Yeah.
And so it's an interesting mix to be the parent of grown children and support and paint pictures of good things rather than put my anxiety on them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we have, one of our kids is leading a life where sometimes I go, I am so fearful and I want to, no. But then, as Mary will point out, no, that's you putting yourself into their life and going, this is unbearable, I couldn't live that way. Not so. For our child, quite capable to live within that construct. And, you're just trying to make her construct, your whatever.
That's what we do as humans. We're like, and we repeat. We yes, I'm the same way. And as is my husband, where we'll just be like, well, they must be feeling the way I felt when I was that age.
Yeah.
They're not feeling that way.
Or the guilt we have, our generation of, this world, we're leaving them,
Oy.
Or AI and all of these things that are genuinely fearsome.
Yeah.
Forget about all that. Climate change
is
fearsome.
Yep.
And it don't really care what your political la-di-da is. It's marching along.
Yep.
So there's a lot of fearsome stuff. But
they'll manage it. They'll handle it. They'll,
maybe they're the ones that are
going to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of our arrogance as parents. It's like we know better.
Especially boomers,
Oh yeah, we're
that
so
whole pass
fucking
the
arrogant.
baton. Not a fucking chance.
No.
No!
That's right.
I still got it.
That's exactly right. I totally agree with that. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it's kind of like, with age, you get wisdom is what I think. But you also have to remain teachable and humble and all those things rather than shoving your wisdom down everybody's throat. It's like, because that's how you stay stuck. That once again, that trope of what getting older means.
Yeah.
I think getting older has to be, you have to remain curious. You have to remain like open. Like I have a lot of young friends. I don't know if you and Mary do, but I hang with like younger people.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Yeah.
And I learn so much from them.
Yeah.
And their perspective and their lives so.
And your children, our children
and our kids.
include us, which is sometimes, we feel not included, but 90% of the time we're included in their young friends' lives as well.
Absolutely.
And it's really amazing.
And I'm sure they love to hang out with you, your kids, because, that's just, it's an interesting, you can be supportive and also be just not arrogant. I don't even know how to put it any other way, but I remember my parents like, this is the way it is. This is the how, And even though they didn't live long enough for me to really,
rebel,
get in there, but I find it very different now. I'm not that way. Plus, I find younger people right now, since they went through the pandemic, most of the younger people, and I'm talking like late 20s, early 30s, they feel like they're behind. They feel like,
2 years behind.
They've missed it. And they'll forget that they did miss 2 years. It's not that you're behind. It's that the world fucking stopped. So I think that the example of longevity in whatever your career, your family, whatever. I had a child at 52 through a surrogate, but I became a mother again at 52. And, that's
wow. Wait. I just let that in. 52.
Yeah, my husband is 6 years younger than I am, and this is my third husband, and he was Sarah and Jackson's stepdad. And when we met, he was like, I don't want to have any kids. And I was like, okay, because I have about 5 minutes left if you want to have kids. And then about 5 years in, we started really talking about it. And so we did the whole surrogate process and that's what happened. And so, and did I feel like—
And who is that?
This is Esme. My sweet Esme, who's 19 and just, she's my favorite right now. Kids,
right
I
now,
love you all.
You others, right now, that's the key thing to take away now.
Yeah. So, So I think that what you're saying is correct. It's like, we continue to live life.
Yeah.
We don't just fold up and die. I think Jane Fonda is, she's, like somebody so to look up to.
Yeah. She pisses me off.
Really?
Yeah.
Because she keeps going.
Because you keep comparing. I compare myself to her and I go, well, you're sure a slacker, Ted.
No. I think you're doing just fine, Ted.
I am. But tell me about this moment, because I read you and Kurt did an evening of
choir.
Describe it. Sorry, I can't remember. Is it Chorus Harmonia?
Chorus Harmonia is what it was called. Yeah. It started about a year ago. All these years, whenever I'm not acting, whatever, I always have a band. I go out and play. clubs. So this year I was like, I really want to sing and I want to be in a choir. I wanted to sing with other people and I couldn't find a choir. So I just put one together in my living room and I got together 11 singers from different friends, from not audition, just people that would kind of come together. And I started picking contemporary material without the intent. Here's what it came out of. I was so despondent in the early 25 of what the fuck was going on. I had to do something to sort of make myself feel better. So music has always been the thing. So I started picking songs that eventually, they didn't tell a literal story, but they told an emotional story. It became an arc of kind of how messed up things are to like what are we going to do about it, to like, we've been messed up before, to like, we have to stick together. So it became, all the music was sort of leaning itself that way. And then I wanted to share it in a way, this was the great lesson. I had no end game in sight. This was about, let's all get together in my living room and we're going to sing. And I found a vocal arranger who put together some arrangements. And before I knew it, it became like we decided to make it like a theater piece. And my husband stepped in and he wrote almost like a Greek chorus, these things that I would say, little interstitial things between the music. And then we put like a multimedia component to it where we showed images that didn't literally go with the music, but went with the emotional arc. I hope this is not too complicated.
No,
but
it's exactly what
it became this beautiful thing that we did at a little theater in Hollywood, at the Hudson Theater. And the intent of it was to make me feel that I'm not alone, that there is hope, that the world has been in horrible places before, and we have survived. And so the little show became that. It's a 66 minutes of music and feels is what we called it. And
music
and feels.
And feels.
Yeah, because it's a very emotional, it's not like a play. I don't even know what you call it. It's not a musical, it's not a play. It's a piece.
Yeah.
And so we performed it about 2 months ago. We did like 10 performances of it, and people walked out really feeling hopeful in a very dark time. And I did too. And it was kind of selfishly motivated. I was just like,
right.
But when you sing with people, that choir energy, that vibration is very healing and very community. It's like, it just gives you that sense of not being alone. It's really, especially when you blend your voices into one sound. And that was the intent, and that's what it is. And now we might move it. We might do it somewhere else. Yeah, it was really,
because it is, what you're describing is literally what the world needs. Lots of things, including Jane jumping on the ramparts, but it also needs giving people a sense of community.
Uh-huh.
Not just because the world is fakaka politically, but because the technology is leading us into not feeling community. So you're spreading community, you're spreading that love and hope and everything that music does just naturally. I think it's brilliant what you did, and I hope you do it again. Yeah,
and it was in a very not like sappy way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you get the message from inside without somebody preaching to you and telling you. It really, my husband, who's a really good writer, he just came up, he just pieced it all together.
Yeah, which is brilliant because music penetrates everybody. But if you put an opinion out there, then you get pushback,
100%. Yeah. This was, it's really how we feel about the world. It's how I feel about the world. I'm sure you do too. It's just so fucking divisive, split.
Yeah.
It's, ugh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I ask you what it supported? Did you raise money?
Oh, yes.
Is that
we
all right?
raised money. We gave all the proceeds to Wounded Warriors, which is an
amazing
vet organization. And then Churla, which is an organization for immigrant rights. And so we donated the whole thing. We just, it was really like we have no ambition for it, which was one of the first things I've done, because I'm a very ambitious person, career-wise. I'm just always like, I'm just a little bit like this step leads to, but so this was a real lesson in doing something just for the sake of doing it. This was not about getting it somewhere, making it something.
I kind of feel that's what I'm doing with this podcast for me.
Oh, I bet.
For me, of course, the lure was, oh my God, there's a pot of gold, these things. But that was, 20 years ago or something. And when you go, oh no, that's not it. And then I think about it going away or, not doing it. It would make me very sad because I get to hum a note.
Yeah.
that's my note in life, and hopefully that it's like your music, something that is hopeful and
we're
kind.
Speaking. We're human beings
Yeah.
talking to each
Yeah.
other. Yes, that's why Kurt and I have a podcast that's nowhere near this sort of pro level. We do it in our house, and when people want to do it on Zoom, I'm like, yeah, okay, if we have to.
Yeah.
But I much prefer it's talking to people, because we're not super social other than sort of in our little recovery communities, and so it's been really great. So I understand that. Just to talk and shoot the shit. It's great.
I like you,
Oh, Ted.
This is going to be fun.
I think it's going to be really fun. Yes. And I mean, I felt very immediate when I'm sort of one of those people that most people tell me their life stories really quickly when I meet people. And because I don't know why. It's kind of like how, remember Rob sat with us and
Yeah, he did. That was very sweet. I kind of came into the tail end of that.
That was,
Yeah.
He felt safe.
My first mentor, I walked in, and his depth of pain that he came back from, was like, well, why am I not going to open up?
Absolutely.
And be real if this person is sharing, the depths of real, So I think that's why people share.
Maybe. And I'm also nosy. I ask a lot of questions. I'm really, I sort of, sometimes inappropriately, I'll meet somebody, I'll just be right into their personal life. Got a girlfriend, got a boyfriend, what's up? And, it's sometimes it's intrusive, but most times I find people are happy to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
They really like that. And plus, when you're around I'm not good at small talk. I don't even know what small talk is.
It terrifies her. I mean, really terrifies her.
I get that. I'm not sure even exactly what that is. I don't know. If somebody says to you, how are you? And your statement is always fine, that feels a little ingenuous to me. I think the answer is well, today's okay. But, I think for me, so
no,
I can't wait to meet Mary.
And also you.
We've met at things.
She said, and I guess so, because she said to please give you her best.
Yeah. We've met backstage at some blah. So
I think there was a kindred something, because she has a lot of respect for you.
That's great. Well, she plays music.
Oh, she wouldn't have let me be with you on film,
Does she have that kind of say? No.
No, she doesn't. Well, you know what? The rest will be in front of a camera.
That's right. And more will be revealed.
Yeah, you're very kind to come in and do this. I really appreciate it. Selfishly for the podcast, I'm saying I really appreciate it. But I love that we got to do this.
I know. I think it'll help us
because
in our
on a
work.
set, there is, by necessity, sometimes small talk.
Right.
Or interrupt us. You don't get to always go there. And that's a good one.
Interrupt us. Very good. Yes.
So I really feel,
that's good.
Because our characters do like each other.
Yeah, we do like each other.
Yeah,
and
respect each other.
We've also started so quickly that it's good to, have a bonding experience.
Yes, I agree.
So that we,
because we can't go out and have a drink together.
No,
and
we
consider
can't do
that
that.
bonding, which it never was,
we could
by
eat.
the way.
I like to eat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.